Okay. Good evening, this is Prableen, and today we're gonna discuss about arts-based therapy, ABT. ABT came in existence in 2001 with an idea of creative expression to foster healing and mental wellness using multiple art forms including drama, music, and to have detailed knowledge, we have our expert, Dr. Shambhavi Sami.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
How are you?
I am good, Prableen. How are you?
I'm good. I'm perfectly fine and was so excited to start this.
So am I.
Okay.
Ji.
Okay. So let's start uh, with briefing it. What is arts-based therapy?
Okay. Oh, let
Hmm.
me get this out. Speaker पे
Yeah.
चलो. All right.
Yes.
So,
Huh. Hmm.
I think वैसे तो शुरू आपने बड़ी सही की थी. That's exactly what arts-based therapy is. But we'll get
Yes.
into the details now. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
पहले तो हम term के ऊपर ध्यान देते हैं. Look at the name of the
Hmm.
therapy. It is arts-based. So like the
Hmm.
name suggests, there is arts into it. So now the
Hmm.
difference here is it is not art and it is arts. Okay,
Arts.
so concentrate on the S now. So when we say
Hmm.
arts, it means
Hmm.
plural. Yani ki we are not doing just one, but we are bringing in
Hmm.
a lot of different forms of art into our therapeutic setup. So now,
Yes.
generally, if you go ahead and ask someone about art therapy, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It is generally
Drawing.
drawing, exactly.
Hmm.
Drawing,
Hmm.
paint. So the entire idea about art therapy has always been very, very restricted and very rigid with drawing.
Yes.
Perhaps, when we were in school, so art period would mean, drawing class. So maybe that's
Yes.
how the conditioning is. So
Hmm.
people do not really
Hmm.
understand that, okay, in an arts therapy session, it could be something beyond just paints and
Yes.
colors. It's much
Hmm.
more than that. So that's an interesting fact when we talk about arts-based therapy. So we are using
Hmm.
lots of different forms, like couple of them, the
Hmm.
way you mentioned.
Hmm.
We also have use of drama, so there is more of theater. We also
Yes.
make use of music, so then we have
Hmm.
musical instruments. Lot of use of body itself. So
Creative expression in a way.
yes, yes. So
Hmm.
with the creative expression, it is not just outside on your paper or you're just making
Hmm.
building up things, but there's a lot of
Hmm.
use of your own body as well. So in
Yes.
lot of ways, it helps our clients in lot of different ways. So of course, as we go with the session, we will bring in some
Yes, yes, yes.
insight into that.
As you said, it
Yeah.
it helps in a lot of different ways, and we have it is like arts-based therapy is used in treating anxiety, pain. We want to know more about it.
Absolutely. Okay, so now
Hmm.
there are two things that you mentioned. One was anxiety, and the other was pain. So now we are
Yes,
talking about emotional aspect, and then we are also talking about the physical aspect, right?
physical. Hmm.
So let
Hmm.
me first touch upon the emotional aspect. So because
Hmm.
I understand and I assume that most of us who are here right now attending this live, we all come from the field of mental health some way or the other, and
Hmm.
that's been
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
interest any which ways during the lockdown. Everyone is into mental health now. So
Yes.
let's begin with talking about the emotional health first. So
Okay.
anxiety is just one of the other several areas that we look into with arts based therapy. Okay.
Hmm.
What happens with anxiety, or say for that matter any emotional issue, generally when a client comes to us,
Hmm.
there could be there will be one issue for which they will come up to us, right?
Hmm.
Now what happens with, especially with arts based therapy, is
Hmm.
one, contrary to the other psychotherapies that we have, which we also call
Hmm.
as, often we call them as talk therapies, where we want to talk to the
Hmm. Hmm.
client,
Hmm.
we're trying
Hmm.
to understand what is bothering them and all of that, the belief system, the irrational thoughts. So we're trying to get through it.
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, as compared to those, what happens with arts based therapy is you
Hmm.
are not really putting across anything to the client. So there are no questions, there is
Hmm.
nothing that
Hmm.
you're trying to get to. So
Hmm.
it becomes more of a very safe space to come into. That is one. Secondly, if you start working with clients, you'll also realize a lot of times when you start putting these questions across to them, they will have their guards up. So a lot of time they also get a little rigid,
Yes.
depending on what is the issue. So there are times when there is an extreme set of trauma ho sakta hai, or something, some past experience which is so difficult for them to process, that even though they know that they are in a very safe space, it might be a little challenging to really touch that part, because that part is still very, it is fresh.
Unconscious or maybe.
Yeah, so somewhere they do not really want to go and touch that part, because it is like किसी खून को हाथ लगाने जैसा. It's not healed completely. So every time I touch it, pains. So they do not want to go to that part. Now, what happens with typical arts-based therapy is, one, these are systematic way of doing a therapy. So just like other psychotherapies, even in arts-based therapy, there is a plan. As a therapist, you will always have a framework how you're going to go about it. But we are not very rigid with the plan. As in, a general, like a typical session would have, one is about building the skill. Like, the client might just come from a very different background, might not have any idea about why are we even doing colors or paints, or for that matter, I don't even want to do this. So that is when we start building up that. तो जो हम other therapies में हम rapport building करते हैं ना, यहाँ पे along with the rapport building, we are also doing this with the skill that you're going to make use of. So if you're going to say work with clay or molding, then during this earlier initial part of the session, it will be more about getting adapted to the skill first. So it could be just simply playing around with the clay or mold, and then you go about with how the session is. So this is how a typical art-based therapy session goes. Okay.
It helps in self-discovery and self-awareness, is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. In all those terms, irrespective of whether a client really has an emotional problem or no. So coming to your second question about pain. With pain, definitely. See, you cannot really help the client or the patient to take that illness away. But this particular therapy model definitely helps them to have that sense of relief for some time, because there is also there is acceptance which comes in a very beautiful way. So there are a lot of different ways in which we go about with this therapy. We'll be using a lot of metaphors as well. So we are not directly hitting the the hot iron. It's like that. So you're not really going to the problem, but in a lot of different ways, which also becomes more welcoming with a client who has some kind of issue. So these days, for last couple of months or so, I have been working with even cancer patients. And with cancer patients, all you can do is talk to them. If you're doing a normal counseling session, all you can do is talk to them, because a lot of time there's a lot of repressed anger. There is guilt probably. So a lot of all emotions you'll find they are more entangled there. In such such a case, or if you have a client who already has a medical illness, there is nothing much that you can do from your end to relieve their pain related to their illness. But as far as the emotional thing is concerned, if you can give them even this kind of a support there, you will see that there is a shift which even comes in their pain, or perhaps now the perception changes. So even while they go for the chemotherapy, now the shift changes from, oh, I am suffering, to now that, okay, this is being given to me for my better health, or I will recover. So the shift starts coming in. That is what is very, very important when you're doing any kind of therapy, particularly with art-based therapy. That becomes the goal. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, they start accepting the reality in a better way. Okay. So, what age group is required for this therapy, and what phase of life, if you talk about?
All right. So again, this can be one of the myths that you can say is attached with arts-based therapy, because when we hear the word art, again, it is generally assigned to maybe a बच्चों के लिए हो सकता है, kids, and they can be doing play therapy and art therapy. बड़े क्या करेंगे? But to even to my surprise, I think the adults enjoyed the most. because somewhere it starts helping them connect with that part of their life where they had some fantastic memories, probably going out, playing around. So even if you give them all this, just mess around the colors with the mud, you will see that child in them being, it will be reborn, if
Alive
you may
again.
say it. Yes. So they will actually start connecting it. And a lot of time, this, it also helps in building a great platform to now bring in other therapies. So when I make use of arts-based therapy, I use it in, together with other psychotherapies as well. So this becomes a very beautiful tool where you can break that ice with your client. You can bring them into that safe space, because हम कितना भी बोल ले, we could be best of the therapists, but end of the day, you will come across clients who do not really want to open up in the first go. And this is where this particular element helps in a very beautiful way, especially if the client comes from a background, or say where the issue has been very, very traumatic. So cases which I have dealt with where there was an extreme trauma, so in the form of physical abuse, sexual abuse. So these are some areas where I think arts-based therapy can give you that, that first push to connect with your client, and then probably you can bring different elements of psychotherapies into the picture. So yes, that is how it helps.
ओके सो इट इज जैसे बहुत लॉन्ग ड्यूरेशन से वो इस फिजिकल या इमोशनल ट्रॉमा को फेस कर रहे हैं, तो इट टेक्स टाइम टू ओपन अप एंड बी कंफर्टेबल. लेकिन ये है कि स्लोली स्लोली वो इंसान इतना एंजॉय करता है दैट ही इज सो मच इनटू सेल्फ डिस्कवरी एंड सेल्फ अवेयरनेस एंड स्टार्ट्स लविंग एंड एक्सेप्टिंग द वन हिमसेल्फ. ओके ओके सो मैम, इसका टाइम सेशन या आर्ट बेस्ड थेरेपी में कितना टाइम ड्यूरेशन होता है?
Okay, a general session, we have it anywhere between 45 to 60 minutes. So 60 minutes approximately पकड़ के चलो, because when we go there, we are actually setting up the space. So ये सारी चीजें काफी important हो जाती है. So not necessarily the client will always be coming to you when you're doing an arts-based therapy. There are a lot of other times when we go to the client. Again, now this becomes a very unlike thing as we do with other psychotherapies. Now here, at times we go to the client, and there we are indulging it. And maybe that is one of the reasons why the virtual world again is becoming more of a catalyst for us who are into arts-based therapy, because this doesn't really become a very different thing. They are also comfortable because at some point we have worked in their environment, and there are times when they have worked in our environment. So they are it's more like a win-win situation for both the parties, for the client and for the therapist. Yeah.
Considering arts-based therapy, there is a question that in arts-based therapy we use different arts like music, drama, drawing, everything. So when there is a patient, do we combine all this at the same time, or it is the specific art form for the person?
Okay, now it totally depends on the therapist, how you want to, like I said, it has a framework, but at the same time, it will give you a lot of flexibility there. So you can always have a frame ready in your mind. So for instance, I'll also tell you why this is important. For example, if you have a plan which is ready with, say, music today, and you have all your instruments ready and everything was sab theek hai, but once you go there, and you sense that, okay, so my client is not really in a mood to, indulge in this. So that is where you keep your other things handy as well. Okay. If not that, then together you can bring in a lot of things. So you could be together, you could begin with first, using your crayons, paints, and then simultaneously just taking it beyond that paper and pen. Maybe now they would want to just use their body. So, it could be a story which they were drawing earlier. Now they are acting it out. So, and probably they would also be bringing in some elements from, say, their surroundings. So they're also building it up now. So there are different elements which you can use together in a culmination, or you can use it individually. So there's no issue with that. It can be either way.
It's very flexible.
Yes, it is pretty flexible. But like how I do it, I make sure I always have a backup plan with this, because you really don't know when you go. You have to be very flexible with this. Like especially if you're working with a target group. With groups, it becomes even more important that you should have a backup plan, because you really don't know how things will work out there. So yes.
As you discussed group, so is it like individual or group therapy?
Okay. So it can be used
Huh.
either way. It can be used
Hmm.
as an individual therapy. It can also be used as a group therapy. And also within a group therapy, you can have individual goals again. So,
Hmm.
say for instance, like while I was working with a group of adolescent girls in an
Hmm.
orphanage, this was in Goa, and
Hmm.
in that orphanage, I had a group of some 12 girls, and
Hmm.
all my group sessions would be more, it will be oriented towards having group bonding. So that would be my therapeutic goal generally. Okay, because that is what the problem was, the problem which was put across to me by the authorities was this, that they are having a problem bonding together. So now if this becomes my group goal, now within this group goal also, I'm going to identify each of my participant. I am going to monitor what they are doing, how they are doing it. So it could be a small little gesture, while sharing, one of them is pinching the other, one of them is pushing. So these becomes your individual goal. So you are going to make a note of all this. So as an ABT therapist yourself, you have to be very much in your session. You have to be with all your consciousness there, and you have to observe all of these small little minute details, so that once you keep moving across your sessions, you will start seeing and you will start observing, okay, so in this child who was initially not ready to even share her box of crayons has now come to a point where the other child wants a particular crayon, and now she offers this child, okay, you can take mine. So now this is a transition which you start monitoring during the session, and this becomes your individual goal then. So even within a
Okay.
group setup, you can have individual goals.
Okay. Ma'am, there's a question that how to stay disciplined during this call. If that person is like, say, hyperactive or maybe like violent. Is it
So you
something
mean
like
to,
that?
okay, so what I understand is in a group setup.
Yes.
So in a group setup, if one child is, say, hyperactive, is that the question? Okay.
Maybe this
So,
one.
so how do we generally do it? If, say, in a group you feel there is this one particular individual, let's not even say child for that matter, even if you're working with adults, you could find this one individual who is pretty hyperactive.
Violent.
Maybe they are changing the entire dynamic of the group energy. Okay. And if you feel this particular person, someone is different as compared to the rest of the group, it is always better to tap into their energy levels. So if you see this child is running around, you could just begin with that. Okay, let's run around with this child. So it could be as simple and as easy as that, where you could be just running around with that child. Or if you give the child the instrument and he's just going on banging, banging, banging a drum or something, you could probably take that as an activity. You could start doing that. Now here there are a lot of things that you need to look at. One, why do you think this child is indulging in such behavior? It could be either be this person or this individual has a lot of energy. It could also be this person has a lot of, maybe this child is seeking your attention. So all
Yes.
of this has to be addressed in a group setup where you have to be very, very, you as a therapist have to be mindful about what your clients are reflecting in a group setup. So that's
Okay.
the best way to do it is you tap into their energies, and then from there you pick up. So if you have seen that movie Karate Kid, have you seen that movie?
Okay.
So उसमें
Well,
एक
no, but
scene
I'll
है ऐसे,
surely watch.
no problem. So उसमें ना एक scene है ऐसा where this individual is meditating with a snake, and now wherever this individual is moving, the snake is also moving. So a
Okay.
bystander feels that it is basically the snake which is moving, and this person is also moving with the snake. But the fact here is, it is not this way, but the other way around. Why? Because initially, probably this person has tapped into the snake's energy, and now it has gone the other way around. So now, when the person moves, the snake is moving. So basically, there's just exchange of energy which is happening here, and that is something if you could bring into your therapy session, it turns out beautifully. So yes, that is something which you can keep in mind.
Okay, there was a
Yeah.
question like someone asked, what if I'm not in good in the arts? If I'm not in good in music or drawing, then how it will help me?
Okay.
So,
So I am neither, I am also not good in arts and all. Okay, my drawing is ekdam bhaiyat. Okay, so you do not have to be an artist for that matter. You really do not have to be an artist. In fact, the rationale of ABT in general is about nurturing the strengths that you have, and it doesn't really focus on what what is not so good in you. So with ABT, we definitely do not want to show even your client that, oh, you're so bad with drawing. Nothing of that. So we are trying to nurture all the imperfections that they bring into a therapeutic setup, and that is the agenda always with ABT. And if we are doing that for a client, it definitely means that first we will have to begin with us. So, you know, when we start with ABT training, the first and foremost thing which is taught to us is working on ourselves. So we never ever directly go into a therapeutic setup. We always begin with ourselves. So it is very, very important that you yourself can reflect back upon your broken parts, because I think as an individual, each one of us has it. So you're first going to work on yourself, and only then you take it to your sessions, because the rationale again here is, if you do not do that, you are going to reflect all of that on your client. So if you are someone who you know was raised by a over demanding parent, and you have that need to be perfect at everything, you are going to take that attitude to your session, and you might just go mad if you see your client not you know not scribbling properly. You might start reflecting that in a therapeutic session, like, why are you not drawing it properly? So that is not the agenda. So first you have to break on the patterns which you have been nurturing all this while, and gradually once you are in a better position, then you go as a therapist. So first to become a therapist, there's a lot of homework that one has to do.
You should not be judgmental and not having subjective feelings.
Absolutely.
And it's not about being artistic. It's about exploring yourself in a better way.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So as you said that it's all about observing consciously your clients in group or individually. So how you evaluate at the end their art?
Okay. So we never evaluate. That's the story.
Okay.
So we never ever evaluate. We do not try to even give meaning to anything. So अगर इसने ये color से sky बनाया है, so we are never going to ask him why this color, why not that color, or this color means this, so इसका शायद इसका ये मतलब होगा. No, we never do that with arts-based therapy. So the entire you know, the focus is on the process. It is never on the goal. So we do not even place any importance on what is the final product. It might make sense, it might not even make sense. But the only thing that we need to understand, or we need to really focus on, is what is the client taking back from that session. So we definitely have a reflection as a part of a session. So by end of the session, we make sure the client sits down, reflects on whatever activity was done, what message did he or she take out of it. So as a therapist, I'm not even going to guide my client in that respect. Ki this was the goal, ye hua ya nahi hua aapke liye. We are not going to do that. We only leave that space. It's more like an open-ended thing where we ask our clients what did they grasp from it. So maybe I had probably initiated it for, say, self-confidence. But end of the day, if my client comes out saying that, oh, I understood, you know, I was having this belief that everyone else has to be perfect, or things have to be perfect, and that is where a shift came in. That is fine. So maybe it might not just overlap exactly the way I thought and I believed it should be, but if there is something which the client takes with him or her, our purpose is served of holding that session. So we really do not interpret anything.
Okay. So ma'am, what is the basic thing that why we should go for arts therapy? Is there something like why one should go for arts therapy?
Okay, so there are a lot of reasons. The first and foremost is, of course, it heals. So we use it as a healing you know, tool or healing module. So of course, for healing purpose. Secondly, it is very non-threatening. So, you know, if you talk about counseling, or you recommend someone to counseling, there are times when they would want to give it a second thought. But there are a lot of other times, if you are just talking about an arts-based therapy session, or say something which is where you're going to explore you using some or the other form of arts, definitely it doesn't really come as a very threatening thing, right? Because it is arts, you're going to explore. So even when you go to your therapeutic setup, when you see a lot of these things around, you know, there could be simple crayons, colors, there could be some tools kept. So a setup looks very friendly, very welcoming. And of course, there is a lot of you know, emphasis on how we as therapists also create that space. So there is a lot of importance which will be given on creating the space. So you have to maintain that, the intent, the overall energy basically you bring into a therapeutic setup is very important as a therapist, and that is something which plays a very, very crucial role when when your client comes into that setup, because it doesn't really look like a couch and a chair and someone talking to you. It looks very different. So okay, so therapy can also happen this way. So it brings a lot of paradigm shift in how one perceives a therapy to be like. So that is again a very interesting aspect for your client as well, and they want to really look forward to it. So what are we going to do today? So yes, that is how it helps.
Okay. So there was also a question from psychology students, like where to go if they want to learn this art, this therapy.
Okay, arts-based therapy particularly, yes. So there are these couple of institutes. I will definitely share it with you, and probably you could share the links with them. That is something we can do after the session. I'll send you the link itself. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we have a comment from Sachi here. So art is innate and familiarity. Yes. Though those are some points that which definitely are very, very integral to arts-based therapy, because in some way or the other, we all have been connected to art, right from our childhood. And there was a point where we all used to visit these melas, right, in some time or the other in life. As kids we have, so I don't know about today's generation, but we definitely used to have this. So what was a mela? Mela was all about this, right? Having art where you are doing some or the other activity. There is Katputli wala khel, you're watching, so there's storytelling. So in some way, it was all about, the therapy element which used to come into place. And maybe that is, that is the base where this entire concept of arts-based therapy took its origin. So in some way or the other, again, we are connecting to our own roots, the folk, the folk tales which we have. हर एक culture में जो रहा है ना हमेशा से, we all have our own stories which we have heard from our grandparents. So why was all this therapeutic? In some way or the other, whenever we used to listen to stories, so हम जब छोटे थे तब क्या करते थे, बड़े हमें stories सुनाते थे. So it used to also facilitate our visualization, our creative abilities. So all of this is something which forms a very crucial part of this particular therapy, because it is very much, it connects us to our roots in some way or the other. Right?
Okay. I was reading comment, what is if Sanjeet can be, I don't know. Okay. Is it a term in art-based therapy or something what?
No, even I'm trying to understand what that term is. Can we amalgamate? Is he trying to use, I think he's trying to understand where can we amalgamate? Okay, the sentence is incomplete. So amalgamate with some other therapies. If that is what you're saying, yes, definitely, to a great extent. So I make sure I'm using it with a lot of other healing modalities. So, and it helps. It really helps.
Okay. I think we discussed almost everything. And if we sum up the arts-based therapy, what would be your last note on it?
Okay, so sum it up. I think arts-based therapy is something which, irrespective of whether you have any issue or no, I think once in a lifetime you should take that experience. Because end of the day, like we take counseling sessions or we take some formal therapies for a particular issue. ABT is just about sinking in, tuning, tapping into your own inner harmony and all that, all the goodness that you were born with. ABT is one tool which just helps you to tap into that. And I think nothing better than the present situation where you are already in this, the era of the pandemic and the turmoil and a lot of different things that you're experiencing. If not a counseling session, I think ABT is something which you should definitely, at least for once, you should tap into. It's a beautiful tool to just feel more relaxed. So I'm sure you must have also heard of mandalas and the mandala workshops which are happening.
Yes.
Yes, so mandala is also a form of, it is a part of ABT again.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, well, he has explained the same thing you already answered, I guess.
Yeah. Right. So yes, I think that I had understood it well.
Okay. So thank you, ma'am, for joining and for this beautiful session.
Welcome. And of course, it was a pleasure being here with you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.